Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is the first day of spring. Yes, it is March 20th, first day of spring. I'm trying to get this voiceover done and this video up, and I just want to make a mental note. Yes, I do have a top on. Sometimes it's hard to see, you know, when I zoom in. But yes, so I felt it was very appropriate to do a spring makeup tutorial, being that today's the first day of spring. And how about this mug? Better late than ugly, right? That's like every girl, right? When we're getting ready. So just to start off, I'm going to jump into the James Charles palettes and take that shade right there. I'll have the colors listed down below. And then I'm taking a little bit of that darker brown. And I just wanted a light wash of that first color just to act as a transition when we put this darker brown shade on. I'm not going to go too crazy with the eyeshadow, but I want a little bit something. And like also that brush I was using, it just like was not working out for me. That's what that was about. So I just went in with a little bit more denser blender type of brush to blend out that darker brown shadow. I gotta be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about the shadows in this palette. And you guys might see at the end, like, it was very hard for me to pack the color on, like, right where my crease is. I always have a difficult time getting it in that little fold. So I struggled there. And then just to bring in on the inner corner, before we go in with the yellow, I'm just using a pretty much like a flesh tone color just to blend it all out. For lashes, I'm using the Ardell Faux Mink lashes. I'll have them linked down below. We are moving fast in this one. I can't even like keep up. But I'm going to do a wing today. This is my Physicians Formula Eye Booster pen. It's a liquid liner, but it also has like lash growth serum in it. And I've used this for years. This is like my go-to, and I like the applicator on this as well. It definitely makes it easy, as you can see, to create that wing. And I'm actually doing a bit more of a dramatic wing, more so than I usually do, like on, you know, a daily basis. So yeah, however you want to do your wings, feel free. Then I'm going in with the Better Than Sex mascara just to coat my lashes for falsies. Oh my gosh, I had to like take a breath there because I'm like moving so fast. I'm then going to go in with this NYX pencil just to brighten up the eyes a bit. And then we're going to move on to Skin and Moisturize. This is the Clinique Moisture Surge Cream. I don't believe it's the gel. Yes, the cream. I always get samples because I'm so sensitive before I go and splurge on this. But so far, so good. And I never put it on my forehead just because I'm very sensitive. As you can see, I do have a couple breakouts on my forehead. And moving on, we're going to prime the skin with my Revlon Pore, I think it's the Photo Finish, the Pore Filling Primer, yeah. And then I use that on my T-zone, and then you guys know I love this foundation. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Stick Foundation. I do have a full review, so check it out if you haven't already. Definitely good this time of year with dry skin. I don't think I could use this in the summer months with oily skin, but right now it is a lifesaver, and I always use a brush to buff out stick foundations. I hate foundation on my lips. I get that off. And then we're going to move on and conceal. I'm using my LA Girl, the Pro Concealer in like a salmon shade to counteract the blue. And then I go in with my Tarte Shape Tape and Light Sand to brighten. And I just kind of mix them both together. And I'll just go ahead and highlight my nose. And then I'm going to set that with the Hourglass Translucent Veil powder. And I'm just using, I've been using this new sponge. This is the e.l.f. sponge. I'll try and find it and list it down below for you guys. But I don't know, I really like it. It's definitely up there with my Real Techniques sponge. So that's what this is if you're not used to seeing, you know, me using a black sponge and not my orange one from Real Techniques. So I have it all blended out. I'm going in with that Hourglass powder just to set everything in place. And I really like this for the under eyes. It definitely like smooths out your under eyes. And I try not to use a lot just because I'm so dry underneath my eyes. And like, how funny was that? I'm using my Physicians Formula Mineral Face Powder. And I'm just powdering where I'm going to contour and bronze. And I'm going to move in back on the eyes and use the same shades that I did on the top and just replicate that on the bottom. So that's more kind of like mustardy shade. And then I'm going with that little bit of darker brown just to define the lower lash line. Then I'm quickly going to dust away the powder underneath. Just like I said, the longer you keep it on, the more dry your under eyes are going to look. Then I'm taking the star of the show, that yellow eyeshadow from the James Charles palette. I'm using this for my inner corner highlight or pop of color, however you want to look at it. And this is the pigment on these colors, though, it's great. It's just the blendability. I have to work with them a little bit more than I would like as opposed to other shadows, but it really turned out pretty, that inner corner yellow shade. Especially yellow, it's hard to, it's definitely hard to find a good eyeshadow that's pigmented when it's yellow. And then I'm just taking this glitter. It's like a glitter liner. I got them in a pack from Amazon. I'll list them down below. And I'm just putting that on top of that yellow just to give it a little bit more like, Shazam, a little bit more bling. So I put it on with the actual applicator and blend it out with a brush just to move the glitter around a little bit more, which you can kind of see right there. I pack it on and I'm just kind of shifting it all around with a small detailing brush. And look how pretty it looks. I'm going to try this with every color now, especially with the shade range in that James Charles palette. Lots of options there. Then I'm just going to quickly do my brows. You guys have seen me do my brows quite a few times. I just use my ABH Brow Wiz in the shade Dark Brown. Just pretty much like extend my brows. I don't really have a very defined tail on the brow, if you will. So I like to shade that in, and then I'll use a powder in a moment here from Wet n Wild, which is drugstore. And I'll just kind of mimic hairs in the front of my brow just to give it a little bit more structure. And then from there, we're just going to set them in place. You guys know I love my Maybelline. It's pretty much just like a clear mascara. It's the Great Lash. And just set those bad boys in place. Moving on to finishing off the eyes, I'm using my L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara just to add a little bit more to the falsies that we applied, the Ardell Foam Ink Lashes. And then for the bottom, you guys know I love my Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara. This one does not transfer. And also the Maybelline Great Lash, the old school with like the green and the pink tube. I like that one also for lower lashes. Then I went ahead and tried out this new Milani bronzer. It's like a body and face bronzer. I was so excited for it, but I'm like, you guys will see here in a minute. I'm like, what the hell? Like, it was just, there was no payoff, and so I went in a little bit heavier, and you'll see here, it just did not work out. So, like, see that? It just, like, I don't know. I gotta try and see if I can work with this, but I just didn't have the patience for this video. So I'm just going in with some of that Physicians Formula powder. I'm going to take this Pixie Glow palette. I think this is like a newer product. And I'm taking that more bronzy shade to contour, and then that lighter shade in the front of it just for a little bit of blush. And there's a little bit of highlight in that as well. It's very pretty. I really like this product. Then to set everything, I'm using my Tatcha, Dewy Spray Mist. I can't think of the name of it. And then I'm taking this highlight from Physicians Formula and just highlighting my cheekbones, Cupid's bow, and you guys know the middle of the eyes or like top of the nose, however you want to describe that piece of it. Then moving on to lips, I'm using this Rimmel lip liner. I'll have the shades all listed down below. And this was a fresh one. I love getting like a new lip liner. It just, the point is so precise, and I don't know, something about like a new lip liner I just love. And then for the actual lip color, I'm using this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. It's like a bright pink shade. I'll have it down below. It went perfect, especially with the headband that I have in. So yeah, you guys, this is the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.